Hello and welcome to Adulting with Most. Hi, my name is Emily. I'm a young adult and I'm a very friendly person who loves animals. I was born with a rare genetic disorder called Prader-Willi syndrome. It's a disorder that makes you overeat because you never feel full. I'm on a strict calorie count diet to manage it, but there is no cure for it yet. I'm currently in the Most program. They are helping to build up my resume by offer work experience to gain meaningful employment and not just a job. I'm also engaged to my fiance, John. He's so cute. And we have a lot in common. I want to share my life and life of others with disabilities and the challenges we face every day. I want the world to be accepting and understanding for people, yes, people like us. Today, my guest is Mary. She is one of my first best friends slash sisters from another mother. I have known her ever since a toddler. She and I grew up in the same neighborhood. We love to go on walks, play games together, sing songs, go to the farm, watch movies, and go to the movie theater together. And also, we love seeing each other's reaction when we give each other's gifts for our birthday or Christmas. How did you like working at Play-Doh Closet, Mary?
Okay. Well, first, it's really great to be on with you, Emily. And yeah, I worked at Plato's Closet when I was in high school and a little bit in college. So that was a couple years ago. I really, I liked it overall. I think so Plato's Closet is kind of a consignment type shop. So it was retail experience, but it was a little bit more personalized as opposed to like working at a bigger box store. And I really liked it. I liked my coworkers. It was a good sort of first retail job for me. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know. It was fun.
Cool. What kind of like tasks did you have to do for retail wise?
Yeah, so we had, of course, all of the typical things. So, like, organizing the clothes, like, if we had a sale, like, we would have to enter in the new prices or go through and, like, make sure that everything was organized. And, of course, I wasn't a manager, but, like, managers had to count the money at the end of the night. We worked registers. In addition, we also got people we would do I'm trying to think about how to word it. We would essentially like take people's clothes that they would bring in. So like let's say that you had some old clothes that you didn't wear anymore that you wanted to get some money for, you could bring them into the store and we would look through them and we would price them based on, so it was like reduced price, so like based on how much we thought that they would sell for, and then we would go ahead and give you your money, so it's cash in hand. Gotcha. Which is really nice. So that's another thing that was kind of like additional that we did as opposed to other like typical retail experience. Yeah.
Cool. Did you know what to do if you had any problems with your coworkers or with your boss or customers?
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of with coworkers, I actually did have a problem with a coworker who was not very nice. She was a manager. Yeah, when I was in high school, it wasn't just me. She was not nice to a lot of people, a lot of the like new hires. And yeah, and I don't recommend doing this, but I didn't say anything. And I think, you know, if you're in that situation, you should say something and you should talk to your manager because like that's, or like, you know, the person that's higher than who's giving you problems, because then like, you know, because otherwise like it's not going to get solved, and like, you know, that's what they're there for, right? So yeah, but I didn't end up saying anything, but that individual was eventually like other people complained. So yeah, but so that would be my thing. Is just going to the next person. In terms of like customers, it would depend on the situation. But again, I mean, you kind of have to put on a bit of a brave face when you're talking to them, but then, your coworkers do have your back, and will be able to help you out. And depending on the situation, we'll be able to get like a manager or the owner involved and to kind of like help out and mitigate that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So how did you like college at Elon?
Ooh, I loved college at Elon. The only thing I didn't like was that it was in kind of a rural area. Elon's in North Carolina, kind of like not near any big cities, but I really loved it.
Yeah.
It was just great. It was a great experience. I got to go abroad, which was really great.
What's abroad?
I studied abroad in London.
Yeah. Is that like their language or something?
Yeah, they have a bunch of different programs. So they've got like one in. I chose London because I don't really have any experience.
Yeah.
In languages, as you know, Emily. But yeah, no, and they have they have a program in Italy. They have one in Spain. They do all kinds of different stuff. Yeah, it's really great. But I chose London and I went, which was really fantastic. So
abroad is like one of the languages that they speak in London or something?
Oh no, I just like meant just like abroad, like across the, yeah.
I thought that was a language that you got taught over there.
I wish I could have been taught a language.
What language did you get taught over there?
I did not learn any languages. I went there because I wanted to learn more about the culture, and I wanted also to work over there. So that's a big reason why I went, is because it was like study work. So yeah, I had an internship. It was really, really cool.
Cool. Over there? What kind of internship did you have over there?
I worked for a company called UPress. They were a really small company. A lot of companies over in the UK are smaller compared to like US companies. And they worked with like the local community to sort of promote independent artists' voices. So like, like people who were starting a band or people who wanted to kind of learn more about, whatever. So yeah, it was really, I liked it a lot. It was cool. It was short.
Cool. What kind of thing did you major in?
So I majored in strategic communications, which is essentially just like regular, just communication.
Just regular talking.
Yeah. And, like it's heavy on writing. And like
which I know you like to do a lot.
Yes, yeah, I love to write. Yeah.
So how do you like having a brother with a disability?
Yeah, I think do you want for me to talk a little bit about
Ben?
Yeah, so Ben is my younger brother. He has trisomy 10q, which essentially, I'll probably butcher this. My mom could definitely do it better, but essentially one of the quote unquote arms on his 10th sequence of DNA has a little bit of extra material. It's a genetic effect, totally random, very rare, only I think 20-ish reported cases in the world, and there's a lot of like variations of it too, so there's more within the kind of broad scope. But he's 2 years younger than me, and I think growing up with a younger brother with a disability has really, it's taught me a lot, and I think it's made me a more compassionate person. And I would not trade him from the world. I love him so much. And yeah.
What kind of things do you like doing with him?
Yeah, I really like reading with him. We recently started reading Harry Potter, so like I'll like I'll have
Oh,
him.
cool.
Yeah, I'll have him read like a page or a paragraph, and then we'll switch. So that's always a lot of fun. And yeah, so that's one thing. We like to play games together a lot too. So we'll like
What kind of games?
yeah, we have all kinds. I'm trying to think of the other day we started doing a story game kind of
Oh,
on the
cool.
like reading. Yeah, so like essentially there were these cards with different pictures on them and you could like read them out. And I would like Ben had a blast with it because like it was jungle scenes, so like
Oh,
it
cool.
showed like these monkeys, yeah, doing all these different like fun activities, and like you've got like the elephant and the zebra, I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. And then
That's cool.
yeah.
What kind of things do you do with your family, with your brother?
Yeah, so recently not much because of COVID, but before we always loved going to the pool with him. So like we would always go I'm thinking of like outside activities, right? I can give you plenty of stuff we've done during COVID too. I just mean, like we would go to the pool, we'd go to the movies, and like in terms of like recently we've been having some like family game nights, so like staying in, trying to like social distance, we'll do like Zoom calls, and there's like virtual games that he can do, so we can like connect with like friends and like people that we haven't seen in person in a while. Yeah, and we'll do like all these different virtual games that he enjoys. I'm trying to think of a specific example. Yeah, I don't know. It's just fun.
What kinds of things have you helped your brother with at home or at school?
Yeah, so recently with virtual learning, so Ben has adapted pretty well to virtual learning. I think he enjoys it, like being in his own space and being able to, he gets a kick out of Zoom, so he'll be raising his hand and like doing all kinds of stuff. And I've been helping him with his homework a lot, so like they'll send out the assignments, and like for example, they were reading a book, what was it, Call of the Wild. They were reading like an adapted version of that book, that story, and so we would go through the PowerPoint and we would have him say, how does the story start and what do these two characters do? And it's kind of, so recently I've been helping him a lot with homework. And I also sometimes help him with PT stuff. It just depends, like different, exercises and things that he has to do, including fine motor. So one activity that we always do is getting Play-Doh and pulling, well, it's not Play-Doh, it's a little bit more sticky and tacky than that, but having him pull out beads out of that, and that really helps.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff do you help at home with them that's not like school-wise?
Yeah, recently, actually not recently, no, we've been doing this for a while. We've been having him we've been helping him like unload the dishwasher. So, yeah. So like he'll unload it and then I'll load it. So he's helping me with my chores, really.
Cool.
But yeah, no, that's cool.
Your brother and you like taking care of cats as you guys grew up?
Ooh, we liked it, but we're both allergic. Actually, I think Ben is the least allergic person in our family.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we loved it. We had a cat, Tabby, for a while.
Yeah.
She was really great.
I miss seeing her around in your house.
I know. She was so old. Ben was a little bit young when we had her, so they didn't really get along. But then we had, we had Sophie.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
Sophie too.
Yeah, we adopted Sophie because her caretaker was a family member who could no longer take care of her. So we ended up bringing her into our house, and Ben and her got along pretty well. She was a little bit feisty, but so that was on her, right? But yeah. But Ben, I think, is a cat person because now we have a dog, and they get along. Actually, Ben always talks about her now.
Yeah.
In the beginning, he was a little bit like hands off, but now I think they've gotten used to. I think he's gotten used to her, so it's like, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
How did you help your brother make new friends if he needed help with that at all?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think Ben doesn't need any help making friends because I think so. He's in a Boy Scout troop, which is an all sort of it's an all adult special needs troop, and he like, I mean, even during COVID, right? Like they have their meetings there. He's like friends with all the guys. Like he like, you know, knows all of them and hangs out with all of them in the in-person meetings, right? Back when. And so, but like, yeah, when we were kids, I feel like, you know, like you and me would hang out, Emily, and I would like kind of introduce Ben to like people, older people that I knew.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like that always kind of helped him.
What kind of struggles did you see that your brother has with his disability?
So Ben has a lot of health complications because of his disability, including some physical, like, you know, very much like he has slight scoliosis. A lot of the girls who have reported cases who have trisomy 10q or other similar variants end up having are wheelchair bound, which is interesting.
Oh, wow.
And so, you know, it's so some of that, and I think, you know, he is at the sort of stage where he's phasing out high school next year, and so that will be sort of difficult. Is like he'll be leaving.
Would he be going to Davis then, since he's phasing out of high school? Yeah,
so we need to find my parents, right, need to sort of find an appropriate day center for him, day program for him. So Ben probably won't be able to do have any kind of work experience. I mean, I think he has before actually in high school, but he needs a lot of assistance with it.
Gotcha.
So it's not that he couldn't do it, it's just that he would need some help with it. So definitely, but yeah, so as he sort of phases out and sort of leaves what he knows, that'll definitely be a big upcoming sort of challenge too. But I know that he'll still be in contact with a lot of his friends and people that he knows from school, just because of, you know, my parents and me and whoever else who kind of in those circles, right? So, yeah.
So what's kind of like his strengths then?
Ben is he's an incredibly determined person. Like, he knows what he wants, and he might not always be able to tell you what he wants, but he knows what he wants. And it's funny how he'll show you or how he'll tell you, you know, in his way. It's just sort of on top of that, right? he's able to communicate in so many ways that we don't think about. Like he'll
Yeah.
be upstairs talking to his. We have a. I don't know if it's an Alexa or a.
Uh-huh.
Like it's one of those devices that you can talk. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll like be talking to it and communicating with it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he does like the quizzes.
Oh, wow, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So he definitely, yeah, he knows. Yeah. So he's a very determined.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. I admire so much about him that
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily know how to like verbalize it all or how to sum it all up.
What are some things that you like to do in your free time, Mary?
Ooh, good question. I like to write. Just, I don't know, when I have an idea or whatever. So that's one thing. I feel like saying watching TV and movies is kind of pop out, but recently, yeah, I've been doing a lot of that. A lot of like virtual things or social distance things. Like you and I are going to take a walk in a few minutes. Yeah, so things like that, just ways to kind of get out and stretch a little bit too with COVID.
Yeah.
It's difficult. So yeah, so those are some of the things.
It's always fun to do stuff with your friends and stuff by yourself.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, you and I always get.
I love hanging out with you. We have so much fun.
I know. I always enjoy it so much.
Well, I think with that, I think we can call this an episode. I want to thank my friend Mary for talking to me about her day, taking time out of her day and talking to me about her experiences. Do you have any final comments?
Just thank you for letting me be on the podcast. It was really great to get a chance to be a guest, and
I'm glad that you did it with me too.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun. Really glad that I got to have you on here finally. If you have any questions, be sure to email us at adultingwithmost@gmail.com. Again, thank you for coming on and thank you for listening to Adulting with Most. Check out the YouTube channel Adulting with Most for the video version of the podcast as well as how-to videos with Patrick. I've been your host, Emily, and until next time, stay